Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. I bid to Prof. Yano. I am Kamil, Husaini bin Kamarudin with the number matrix of 072729, and today I'll be talking about the global pandemic and its challenges. What exactly is pandemics? Pandemics is defined as the global outbreaks of infectious diseases like COVID-19 that happened quite recently. How exactly is it linked to globalization? Where is it linked? Well, it's linked to globalization because it affects the global trade of the world and also the global health of the world, which is very, very important, as we know, and we should always take very careful consideration of this matter. I said that it is very important to take consideration of this matter, but why exactly is it important to global health, and what responses is needed to take care of these pandemics? Let's take the example that I've mentioned just now, COVID-19, which was first discovered in Wuhan, China. It started small, but after only a few weeks, it traveled through the whole world. Something that we do not want, because a pandemic, once it spreads, it affects not only the health of people, of the public people, it also affects the economic balance of the world. We do not want this. Next challenge that was brought by pandemics is the global health inequality, because as we know, during COVID-19 there is a vaccine, multiple types of vaccine that was used to mitigate the issue. However, the distribution of the vaccine is not actually fair. For example, countries like the European countries receives vaccines very quickly, but the poorer, the less developed countries receives vaccines like quite slowly. It was very slowly given to the poorer countries in African regions, for example, and this actually was not helpful to mitigate the issue, as some countries lacks the needed health infrastructure to mitigate, to treat the wounded, the sick people that was affected by COVID-19. And this is very harmful because the virus kept on spreading. So how exactly was this problem mitigated? This problem was mitigated with the help of every country in the world. Every country in the world has cooperated among each other to stop this outbreak. For example, the WHO receives funds from every country in the world, almost every country in the world, to mitigate this issue, and they were able to create vaccine very effectively, and they were able to distribute it to every country in the world. And now the COVID-19 is, I could say that it is no more. And Malaysia was very responsible. I'm emphasizing on this because Malaysia was able to take this matter very seriously, and we are able to mitigate this issue very quickly because we took the movement control order, the MCO, very seriously. And my government, the Malaysian government, took this matter very seriously, and they invested themselves in the public health, the surveillance system, and the crisis response terms to ensure that this virus, this outbreak and pandemic could be handled very carefully. And at the same time, the public education was also improved as we were exposed to this issue more, so that even the students at a younger age could know what they should do to avoid and to prevent the spread of COVID-19. In summary, I believe that the pandemic is a global threat. Global threat as in it affects the global health of the world. Much like terrorist attack, it could kill people, it could harm lives. That is not what we want. And I believe that global cooperation is very much important, but the domestic system, the government itself, should invest in a fair, inclusive health system. Because if the government is not truthful with its citizens, then they do not share about what's happening to their country, it would not help to stop the spread of virus. For example, like in Wuhan, they did not tell that the outbreak was happening, and it is one of the reasons why the outbreak spreads very, very quickly. So here I'm just stressing out again that global cooperation is very, very important, but the country itself should not take the matter like this lightly. They should not think that they could contain this outbreak by themselves, and even if they could, they should still warn other countries, other neighboring countries, of what's coming towards them. That's all from me. Thank you.